saw that like half of the dance floor had their phones out. And I was like, well, hello. And then I looked to my other side. I'm like, oh, everyone's filming this. I'm Anne Hathaway, and this is The Clothes of Our Lives. The pieces I tend to wear a lot. They are very well loved. You might think it's the closet of somebody who's in a boy band, but then who likes dressing like Hailey Bieber on the weekends. Oh gosh. Okay, this is the Princess Diaries premiere, which was at the El Capitan Theater in Los Angeles. I am wearing Calvin Klein. I was fit for it at the Calvin Klein showrooms. I contacted Calvin Klein myself and explained who I was and that I had a premiere coming up. Such a bridge and tunnel nobody. And they treated me with so much respect and kindness, and they lent me so many clothes for this press tour. And the one thing that I forgot, I'm not wearing sunscreen. So in this picture, I am getting sunburned, which you can see in later photos from after the movie at the after party. But I still have this dress. I keep some of my kind of most treasured outfits in a special spot, and this is one of them. I did not keep those shoes in great condition. I wore those to death. I wore those into the ground. They are dust now. Well, okay, I mean, this is memorable in so many ways. This maybe is one that I wish I could forget, but it's memorable, so what are you gonna do? This is a Matthew Williamson dress. This is a Marni jacket, I think. This was the Balenciaga city bag that everybody had. I got my hands on one. It was this green. I wore it with everything. These shoes, they were white, they were perforated. I think I wore these shoes for 2 years straight. I wore them with absolutely everything. I thought they were chic, chic, chic. Now, you would have thought that that was enough. You would have been like, that's enough outfit, but it was 2003, so of course, if you wore a dress, you put it over jeans. I will say that I think these jeans are cool. The hemline at the bottom is really awesome, and I actually think that they're back in fashion, so maybe I can find them. This is an iconic Andy Sachs look. I love this outfit. This is Andy Sachs in Paris throwing her phone into the fountain. The outfit is Louis Vuitton. In this picture, it looks black. It is the most exquisite shade of like beetle green. It's so beautiful. When the light hits it, it goes green, black. There's like some beautiful dark russet in there. It's unbelievable. When you look at the scene that Andy wears this in, when she's with Miranda Priestley in the town car at the end, they're both wearing the same neckline. I didn't notice that the entire time we were filming. It wasn't until I saw the movie, and I just thought, oh, that Patricia Field, she is so brilliant. To suggest that somebody was morphing into someone else and unconsciously mimicking their style. And we shot this in Paris. I got to go to Paris, you guys. I was 23. Andy Sachs, the original closet, or Andy Sachs, the sequel closet? Oh gee, baby. There was an inexplicable amount of Chanel. She was an assistant, and she wore head-to-toe Chanel. Also, I'm always a fan of vintage, and I think upcycling is chic, so I'd probably go with that. Oh, I love this dress. Oh my gosh. I think this is my first ever Met Gala, and I'm wearing Marc Jacobs, speaking of icons, and it is the most beautiful little mini dress. Even though I'd made the Devil Wears Prada, I still hadn't quite clicked in that I should probably like put together a closet, get some accessories going for myself, and so the stylist asked me if I had shoes, and I was like, oh, no. And I said, well, maybe I do. And I pulled out like a pair of tired black shoes. And she's like, no, let me see what I can do. And either she worked for Pour la Victoire or her boyfriend did or someone, I don't remember. But those shoes are Pour la Victoire. They were so comfortable. And I just wore them on dance floors for years because they were absolutely amazing. Love my nails. Love a gothy, dark, dramatic nail. And I just love my big supermodel blowout. This is one of the greatest movies, roles, costumes, whatever. One of the most beloved projects I've ever been a part of. Here I am as Selena Kyle in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises. I got to do so many unbelievable things when I was training for this. I got to learn how to jump off of a building. I got to learn how to do a backflip out of a window on a Christopher Nolan set, playing this part that was a dream come true. Such an unbelievably happy time. I loved it. I do regret not keeping a pair of gloves, at least. That would have been a very, very, very chic thing to just have laying there somewhere in my office or my closet. I got to play this part. I will remember it forever, and that should be enough for me, but my grandchildren might not feel the same way, inshallah. Oh, Pretty in Prada. Look at that. I won an Oscar. Luckiest girl in the world. How about that? This was the beautiful Prada that I got to wear when I won an Oscar for Les Misérables. I had shaved my head for the role, so I've got an adorable little pixie. Shortly after this picture was taken began the grow out phase, which was not cute. My hair is either like good shaved or down to my waist. Anything in between is kind of like meh. The grow out phase took the better part of a decade. Let's not go back. Oh my gosh, I love this outfit. I had so much fun. This was such a fun night out in Paris. And Adam and I were so lucky. We're parents. We have 2 young kids, but we had a stolen weekend in Paris and we got to go to the Valentino couture show that Pier Paolo had invited us to. I got to go to their beautiful showroom and this was waiting for me on a hanger and the tights were so beautiful. They were a little hard to stand in, but I didn't care because I felt fierce. And it was just a fantastic night. I think we all wound up on the dance floor and Pier Paolo came home and we were talking and then at a certain point he just goes, "I'm so sorry, I can't be here. It's not right. It's not right that there's a rope here. We should be out there. I'm gonna go out there." I said, "Well, of course, you're absolutely right and I should be out there too." So we went out there and we were dancing and the song was so good and the vibe was so lovely that I just like kind of closed my eyes and started dancing. And when I looked up, I saw that like half of the dance floor had their phones out. And I was like, "Well, hello." And then I looked to my other side, I'm like, everyone's filming this. And I'm just like, oh, well, that's life. And so I just kept dancing and everybody kept dancing. We were dancing and filming and it was lovely. Oh my God, this Claudia Schiffer's Versace that I got to wear one night. I was Donatella Versace's guest to the Albies, which is George Clooney and Amal Clooney's foundation that honors courage and leadership in journalism. This was a beautiful dress that Donatella asked me to wear. I believe it came right off the runway. Claudia Schiffer wore it like 24 hours before, something terribly glamorous like that. Donatella makes her friends her family. And so being friends with Donatella means you get invited over for dinner. You just have these really meaningful conversations. The people that are around her have been in her life for years and years, if not decades and decades. I'm so grateful for our relationship. This was a good night. This was the Versace fashion show that took place on a rooftop in Los Angeles. This is a crocodile effect dress made out of patent leather. It's a mini skirt with very, very, very high boots. I love a platform. This was, I think, maybe one of the first times I wore sunglasses on the red carpet. And the truth is that I wasn't sure about the lighting. So I decided to just control it myself. But then it kind of looked good, so now I do it more. I mentioned before about Donatella. Donatella is so beloved, you can't even imagine it. It's actually hard to describe. So this show was supposed to happen on like one date, and then all of a sudden the forecast was for the most torrential rain that LA had seen in like 10 years or something like that. So Versace basically called up everyone that came to the show, and it was quite a list of people, and was like, "We have to move it to this night." Every single person said yes. They said, "For Donatella, anything." And these are people with like very intense schedules. Everybody dropped what they were doing and made sure that they showed up for Donatella because she is just that special and she is just that extraordinary. This was a beautiful night in Rome for one of Bulgari's high jewelry couture shows. I am lucky enough to be a Bulgari ambassador, and so I get to go to things like that. And this dress is a Zac Posen for the Gap. It's just a beautiful white shirt dress, and just knowing that I was going to be wearing such a beautiful, exquisite necklace, we wanted something very, very simple to balance it out because we knew we were going to be in a garden. I remember when it arrived, I put it on, and I thought it was maybe a little bit cooler in the fitting, and then I realized that I had it on inside out and that all the seams were meant to show, which is very different, of course, than garments normally want to keep that hidden, but this one was about kind of deconstructing it. Oh, there she is. This is an Ellen Moroznik original. Oh my goodness. In this image, I play Penelope, the wife of Odysseus and the queen of Ithaca, mother of Telemachus. I can't tell you anything about this outfit because it's all under lock and key, but I am holding a very significant object, very important to the story of Homer's Odyssey. If any of you have read it, you might notice what I'm holding. The craft that went into making these garments was so breathtaking because they were all made by hand, every single pleat. That was all handmade by a single woman. And Penelope is a queen. She had a lot of gowns, and the detailing work on it was just remarkable. What Ellen Moroznik did that I thought was so extraordinary was she was able to take these really classic silhouettes that we think that we're familiar with, and find the modern edge to it, to find something to say. As you'll see when the film comes out, Penelope wears a lot of bright colors. She wears a lot of kind of elaborate hair design. I didn't know exactly why why we were doing it that way, but I knew it was the right thing. And then one day during filming, very near the end of my section, I just went, oh my gosh, I know exactly why Penelope does this. Penelope wears bright colors and fixes her hair beautifully because she is not in mourning, and because every day could be the day that Odysseus comes home. Even without words, Ellen Mirojnick knew that, and she dressed me so splendidly, and I am so grateful. Thanks for watching. Check out my Elle cover now.